I won't give a full history lesson, but when we going from today to the beginning of the banking system for emancipated Black, former slaves, right? When we look at yes, exactly, the Freedmen's Bank, Savings Bank, it was instated in 1865. And this was the savings bank. It was through U.S. Charter, U.S. Charter Bank. And within 10 years, um, former slaves, they put in $72 million into this bank, right? This is, 1870s, right? Which would be worth $5 billion today. $5 billion today. And through mismanagement, through exploitation, and blatant plundering, that was all evaporated. So when we talk about trust, what trust? There hasn't been trust from the beginning of banking in underserved communities, and it only continues to this day. Now, that may be the DNA, but it comes down to now it may look like, oh, you're considered higher financial risk, right? And so, on average, uh, with the same level of credit worthiness, background in education, salary, um, Black customers have to pay on average 1.4% higher interest rates. Right? And this is just the reality. I don't have, I don't know the opaque calculations behind the closed doors, what's calculated, but I sure know the results. Right. So I think that well established, the current sort of conditions. Now,
But I do want to point out though, what that leaves is then the predatory lending. And so now if you actually need access to money quickly, you're paying rates 10, 20, no, that's generous, 50, 60, 70, 100%, 200%. And there's statistics I think you've all seen that the average, it's like 60% of America couldn't come up with $400 in an emergency if they had to, which is just, that is a very scary thought to begin with. But then you think about, well, how can they get that? Even if they have a friend or family that they can do it, the transaction fees to get from one place to another, you really put a lot of Americans in a jam by having just not only just the lack of financial services, but those that you do have access to are so punitive in purpose.
right. So having that grounding, let's look at alternatives, right? If the current system hasn't worked for many groups here in America, I know Alex Gladstein had the human rights perspective that takes a global look, but looking domestically here, for those who are in need. Um, when we look at the crypto market, there's tens of, 10,000, 15,000 different coins. Look at DeFi. All right, if we know this current system is not working, what about a DeFi protocol in terms of, does it bring the same level of financial autonomy that is often desired in these communities?